They are the devastating statistics no one wants to hear. The life expectancy of people living on the streets is just 45. What's worse, our homeless population is growing so rapidly it could fill the MCG.
But one man is doing something about it. Keegan Crage is the creator of On My Feet, a running group that helps homeless people get back on their feet, literally, find employment and reconnect with the community. And for more on this, the founder and CEO of On My Feet joins us live. Great to have you on the show, Keegan. Tell us, where did this idea come from?
Well, I run ultra marathons, and when you're training for an ultra marathon, you often run a very long way. And I would run past homeless people and wonder to myself, if I can feel this good, why can't they? And the simple answer was that they could. All they needed was a pair of shoes. So I went down to the shelter and invited them to come running with me.
And what's the response from them when you say, "Come on, let's get the sneakers on and go for a group run with a bunch of strangers"?
One of them said to me, "When someone like you turns up in a suit, there's got to be something up." And I said to them, "Look, running is pure. It's simple. It makes you feel great. It's brutally honest, because just like life, you get out of it what you put in. And if you commit yourself to running on a consistent basis, then I'll reward you with something far more beneficial than food and shelter. I'll give you self-worth, I'll give you a sense of purpose, and ultimately I'll be able to give you a pathway to self-sufficiency through education and employment opportunities."
And you help them, as you say, find a job. How do potential employers react to you in the program?
Well, what I say to potential employers is, when you hire, do you look for people that are determined, they're disciplined, they're resilient, they're committed, they have a positive attitude? And of course the answer is yes. And so what I say to them is, regardless of the fact that they're homeless, if I can demonstrate those attributes, will you give them an opportunity with no strings attached to undertake some work experience? And if at the end of that period you see in them what we think you'll see in them, will you give them a job?
Yeah.
And they've said yes.
Hey, Keegan, what changes have you seen in those who have committed to the running group?
I think at a very basic level, obviously there's an improvement in their physical health, but more importantly than that, there's a big improvement in their mental health. There is less antisocial behaviour, there's less addiction, there's less crime, there's more positive decisions about how they spend their time, and the groups that they get involved with, whether they're running with us in Perth, Melbourne, Sydney, Cape Town in South Africa, they're all very inclusive, and so they feel as though there's hope, they feel very positive about the future, and they're no longer feeling worthless and invisible.
A lot of people, just walk past and ignore the homeless. Is that where we're going wrong? You mentioned, that feeling of inclusiveness. Is that the key?
Well, I think the reality is that we all want to feel important. Every single one of us wants to feel recognised and loved and important in some shape or form. And most of us have a support network around us, whether that's through work, through family and friends, through sporting clubs. And unfortunately, for many of those that are at risk of or dealing with homelessness, they don't have that same structure. And so what we aim to do is to provide them with that network, that community that gives them that self-worth, gives them that sense of purpose, and ultimately that pathway to self-sufficiency.
Yeah, Keegan, you're doing a great job, mate. Keep up the good work. Really appreciate your time this arvo.
Thank you very much.